From Premier League powerhouses to Barcelona's rising stars, this season gave us Ballon d'Or contenders, comeback stories, and breakout legends. Let's break down the standout players who defined it. Let's start in the Premier League, because this season, it's been the stage for some truly outstanding performances. At Arsenal, Declan Rice has elevated himself from a solid signing to the club's undisputed heartbeat. He hasn't just adapted to Arteta's system, he's become its foundation. Week after week, he's delivered with a level of authority rarely seen in such a transitional team. His showing against Real Madrid in the Champions League was a turning point. It wasn't just about goals, it was about psychological dominance. He managed to do something few midfielders have, demoralize Real in midfield. And that's not just a personal triumph, it's a statement to the football world. He became the first player to score 2 direct free kicks in a single Champions League knockout game. For a club that historically doesn't thrive on set pieces, this felt like a cultural shift. Even when the goals dried up slightly, Rice didn't disappear. In fact, his influence only grew. His ability to deliver key passes and dictate tempo has placed him among Europe's elite midfielders by the numbers. For Arsenal, a team trying to bridge the gap between potential and silverware, Declan Rice has become absolutely irreplaceable. That €116 million price tag, it's looking more like a bargain with every passing game. Then there's Mohamed Salah. Critics said he was slowing down, that his explosiveness had faded. But this season proves that while the pace may have dipped, his impact hasn't. Salah's role has shifted under Arne Slot, and it suits him. He's no longer just a sprinter terrorizing fullbacks, he's a conductor of attacks, more intelligent, more efficient. Under Slot, Liverpool has leaned into possession and control. Instead of chaotic pressing, it's about calculated pressure, and Salah thrives in that. Despite a less dazzling second half of the season, his output has remained high. His awareness, his passing, his ability to make the right decision under pressure, those have all improved. And even when he's not scoring, he's pulling defenders, opening space, and anchoring the team's forward movement. Liverpool has built so much of its identity around Salah. That's why extending his contract wasn't just good business, it was essential. There's no one on the market ready to fill his shoes. And while fans used to worry whether Salah was a one-season wonder, now he's on pace to define a decade at Anfield, a true club legend in the making. And at Newcastle, Alexander Isak is quietly becoming one of the Premier League's most feared strikers. For 2 seasons in a row, he's passed the 20-goal mark in the league, an achievement that signals both consistency and maturity. He's not just a finisher. Isak combines height, agility, and technical skill in a way that few strikers do. He can dribble through tight spaces, link up with midfielders, and still be the guy who slots in the final touch. His transfer market value now exceeds €100 million, and for good reason. Newcastle's project might still be finding its rhythm, but Isak's development has been rapid. Eddie Howe sees him as untouchable, and even though bigger clubs are circling, Isak may not need to leave just yet to get a taste of Champions League football. But make no mistake, he's on the radar of Europe's elite, and sooner or later, someone will test Newcastle's resolve with a massive offer. From England to Italy, let's talk about a man who's become the face of Inter Milan's resurgence, Lautaro Martínez. If you gave Simone Inzaghi a threadbare budget and an aging squad, most would expect mid-table mediocrity, but not Inzaghi. He's proven to be a master of doing more with less. He's crafted a distinct, disciplined, and aggressive style of play, and Lautaro is the engine that drives it. Despite limited support, Lautaro has evolved into one of the most complete forwards in Europe. Not just a finisher, but a creator, a leader, a captain who doesn't just score but sets the tone with movement, pressing, and hunger. His link-up with Marcus Thuram has become one of the most effective partnerships in Europe. While many strikers pad their stats in domestic leagues, Lautaro shines brightest in the Champions League. This season, he scored in 5 consecutive Champions League matches he started, including key goals against Bayern Munich, both home and away. Those performances didn't just help Inter, they elevated him into the Ballon d'Or conversation. Inzaghi and Martinez are the kind of coach-player duo that transforms clubs. One brings structure, the other delivers magic within it, and together, they've turned Inter into a continental powerhouse again. Now, let's head to Barcelona, where a new generation is writing its own legends. Pedri is already being compared to Andrés Iniesta, and it's not just lazy nostalgia, it's earned. At 22, he's already played nearly 200 matches for Barcelona. That kind of experience at that age is rare, and it shows in his intelligence and composure. What makes Pedri special isn't flashy skill moves or viral goals, it's control. He dictates the rhythm of the game like a seasoned conductor. When he's on the pitch, Barcelona looks calmer, more assured, and infinitely more dangerous. This season, he's focused entirely on the team's success. But make no mistake, he has Ballon d'Or ambitions, and he has the skill set to achieve it. With midfielders now being recognized for their control and vision, Pedri fits perfectly into that mold. His numbers across Europe's top 5 leagues put him among the best in passing, progression, and involvement, falling behind only in areas like interceptions and shots. Everything else, he dominates. Then there's Lamin Yamal, the 17-year-old phenom who plays like he's in a park with friends, not in front of 90,000 50,000 fans. Yamal isn't just the future of Barcelona, he's the future of football. His creativity, vision, and confidence defy his age. He curls shots like a seasoned pro, delivers crosses disguised as shots, and pulls off back heels and flicks with ease. Watching him feels like watching Ronaldinho again, not because of the style alone, but because of the pure joy he brings to the game. He's already making headlines and carrying expectations that would crush most teens, and while his personality is starting to show, sometimes bordering on cockiness, it's understandable. He recently claimed that Real Madrid simply can't beat Barcelona this season. That kind of confidence can be risky, but if he stays focused and grounded, the sky isn't even the limit, it's just the start. Rafinha's rise this season has been cinematic. Just a year ago, he was on the verge of leaving Barcelona. Things weren't clicking, but then came the turning point. His background under Marcelo Bielsa at Leeds gave him a relentless work ethic, something that matched perfectly with Hansi Flick's intensity. Instead of being boxed into a rigid role, Raphinha was given freedom. He drifted from the wing into central areas, found his space, and began to flourish. His numbers exploded. Goals, assists, big match moments. He became a constant threat and one of Barcelona's most decisive players. Flick became more than a coach. He became a mentor, someone who saw Raphinha's full potential and pushed him toward it. Raphinha is leading the charge, and if it comes down to a Ballon d'Or race between him and Lamin Yamal, I'm backing Raphinha in 2025. Lamin will get his flowers in time, but this season, it's Raphinha's story.
And finally, we close with Ousmane Dembélé. At the start of this season, he was being dropped from squads and clashing with management. Many had written him off, not because of a lack of talent, but because of inconsistency, injuries, and questionable decision-making. For years, Dembélé was viewed as a gifted enigma, a player who showed flashes of brilliance, but could never quite put it all together. But something changed over the new year. Whether it was a mental reset, a tactical shift, or simply a new level of maturity, Dembélé has entered 2025 with a completely different mindset. This year, he's transformed into the most productive player in world football, not just in terms of raw stats, but in overall impact. He's not dribbling as much as before, but he doesn't need to. He's playing smarter, shooting more often, and most importantly, he's hitting the target. The wild, often wasteful finishing that once defined his game has been replaced by precision and control. What's fascinating is how much his entire style has evolved. He's gone from wild and unpredictable to measured and lethal. He now picks his moments, makes better decisions in the final third, and contributes consistently. In League One, his performances have become more focused and effective, and in the Champions League, where the stakes are highest, he's been nothing short of decisive. For years, Dembélé was the player who could be great. Now, he is great. If PSG manages to lift the Champions League trophy this year, there's every chance he'll be lifting the Ballon d'Or alongside it. It's a career redemption arc, nearly a decade in the making, and now it's playing out on the biggest stage. Dembélé is no longer a promise, he's a powerhouse, and watching him finally deliver on that long-awaited potential is nothing short of glorious.
This season was special for a lot of players, but who was the best for you? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I highly recommend checking out some of my other videos, like 6 loan signings that saved their careers this season and 9 worst transfers that flopped hard in 2024-25, which are now on your screen. My name is Ole. Love this game. See you next time.